Last week was a hard week. We basically played 4 games in 10 days, and the third game out of those 10 days was last Wednesday against Northwood at Northwood. It wasn't a classic by any stretch. It was quite a dull game, not a typical Northwood Saginaw game. It was very blunt. Both teams just sparring with each other. I felt like most of the game. And then we ended up losing the game in overtime, and it was a disappointing loss. But you learn a lot about yourselves when you lose games sometimes. So we've regrouped, and the biggest thing that we talked about was making sure that we bounce back against Northern Michigan, because you lose one game, cannot let it lead to another loss. If you dwell on the loss too long, it can affect the next performance. So we fixed that mentally, and then we went out, and even though we started a bit sluggish against Northern Michigan, I think from I'd say from late in the first half onwards, we were the dominant team, and were good value for a 3-1 win. So very happy with the turnaround, and 3-1 in 10 days is not too bad, but it's probably not going to be good enough at the end of the day to be the champions of the GLIAC at the end of the season. So we need to improve. PNW are, they're new to the league, and they're good. They're very well coached. Ryan Hayes is the coach there. He's from Australia, and he's done an exceptional job, I think, in his first year. We played them. We were 2-0 up against them at their place, and they got a late goal on us, and made it a bit of a worrying tail end of the game. So we're definitely expecting a tough game against them at home here. They just come off a draw with Tiffin the other day, at Tiffin 0-0. So they're a very, very strong team, and they're trying to make a push for the playoffs at the end of the year. So we have to make sure that we're focused for that game. And then really the tough thing when you've got Friday and Sunday games is you put all your emphasis and preparation into the Friday game, because that's the next game that you're playing. But then you've also got a Sunday game. So Saturday we'll have a quick turnaround and try and get ourselves ready for Tiffin. We know Tiffin now. Unfortunately, it's the last time that Tiffin will be, it's the last league game that we'll play against Tiffin, because they'll be moving to the GMAC next year. We have a good rivalry with them. It goes back a number of years, so we'll be well prepared for them. They're a strong team. They're fighting for first or second in the GLIAC, so we'll be ready for them. It's nice to be at home, so I think that's an advantage for us. So hopefully we can be mentally and physically prepared for going into these 2 games this weekend and come out with 6 points. That's the most important thing.